Lillian. For reasons unknown, when I get drunk enough at the Geary Club, I start to flirt with Lillian. I'll tell her things like I did on this night, things like, I really love how you did your eyes. Lillian's the bartender. She has a dry, clumsy smile and always seems one drink shy of not being able to hold her head up. She's full of sass and floats between serving you the wrong drink and delivering incomprehensible rants under her breath. On this particular night, being equally as wasted, I ended up in the bathroom with her offering me key bumps and applying eyeliner to every part of my eye. With a voice like wet sandpaper, she instructed, "It's easy, honey, like this." I can only imagine what precision she could have had, one eye closed and looking like the Leaning Tower. All I know is I escaped the jaws of an eyelash curler after my boyfriend opened the bathroom door to find me cornered with a 5'1" cocaine cosmetologist attached to my eyelid. I had never been more grateful. With one eye swollen and both dripping black, I surfaced onto the Tenderloin streets, sacrificing only the innocence of my eyelids and a few lashes. Tutu. Tutu stays in Oakland, but he makes his living sitting on the corner of Geary and Leavenworth. His real name is Samuel Grant. He's handicapped and on welfare, and once he mentioned that his girl was beaten by the police in Oakland. I didn't ask whether he meant his daughter or his girlfriend. Both seem just as tragic. Either way, he's alone now. When I asked him about his past, he just trolls off, "Oh, I don't know too much." He believes his mom and dad are in heaven, and he believes people shouldn't come here from other towns and act like they run people's neighborhoods. We have to be good or bad, he says. I'm trying to do the good things. Maybe he's got the right idea. On the corner, he told me, "We all a family, we all the same, you know what I mean? We gotta get together." But when I asked him what his favorite things were, he said, "Being alone, having my privacy, scary movies. I love scary movies." Ed Bowers. You don't have to talk. Ed Bowers wrote a play once. Instead of being performed on a stage, several narrators were placed on separate corners of a dark room, and a spotlight danced frenetically from one to another, as each spit out lines of poignant brilliance mixed with a good story and things that didn't make sense. This is how I imagined the inside of Ed's head to be. I met Ed after sitting next to him at the 21 Club, where I bought his book from behind the bar for $5. He hosts an open mic there once a month, where he'll play the obligatory keyboard accompaniment to your poem. The first conversations I had with Ed were slurred over a cigarette and the slaughtered English that hovers like fog over the intersection of Turk and Taylor. I've seen Ed stare off into the distance while offering the verbose equivalent of "fuck you" to someone trying to bum a cigarette off him. I've seen him drink to handle the dark room and spotlight of his mind. And I've seen him endeavor to read 20 pages of poetry to a bar of patrons who drank their manners and attention spans down with their sixth beer. Ed would read verses like, "Hemingway was afraid of nouns, Hemingway loved war, war is full of verbs," and lines like, "The universe is so innocent it thinks with its dick." Robert. He was smart, bald, heartbroken, and sitting on the stool next to mine at the Brown Jug. He told me how he once lost his keys in a yellow cab, and how attached to those keys was a Swiss Army knife. "It was the last thing my ex-wife gave me as a gift, and I lost it," he said. "The only woman I ever loved." His inverted eyes looked back to the past and finally came back full circle. At 19, I lost my virginity, then my hair, and now this. But that's what we do. We just go out there and we lose things. And then just one small poem. I wrote this for a friend who has a blog where he takes these pinhole camera photos of people in the Tenderloin, and asked me to write something to accompany it. It's called Crack Rocks. He could have been a surgeon or a painter. How precise and delicately he scraped between the cracks in the sidewalk. On his hands and knees, I've never witnessed a being existing so much in the present. It was there at some point, I'm sure, but the morning sun must have burned it up. We're all searching